Women of Power podcast is a platform for passionate and influential women who are catalysts for change, pioneers in their fields, the change makers, the trailblazers, performers and influencers, driven entrepreneurs and professionals. They play a vital role in driving economic growth and bridging the talent shortages across organizations of various scales. Building cause-based businesses to create positive impact in their communities and towards sustainable goals for the people, planet, and prosperity. In every industry, women are shattering barriers and strive to create a space where they can exhibit their achievements and motivate other women to unleash their limitless potential. We encourage collaboration, networking, and knowledge sharing among women. Let's inspire and learn from one another while sharing our valuable experiences. Thank you for joining us and listening to this episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Women of Power, where we showcase the courageous women that despite the circumstances, adversities they have been through, they are always ready to take up challenges and rise above the circumstances. Not only they just do that, but they inspire us in so many ways. And every so often we come across stories that they are uncommon stories. Once we hear those stories, we find again the strength, the courage, perseverance of these courageous people who have given us so much to be grateful to them because of these experiences they bring in light and empower people around them. And today my guest she's a poet, teacher, editor, writer, playwright born in Najaf, Iraq, who now lives in the United States. And she is also a author of a book, War and Me. Faleeha Hassan, she is Pulitzer Prize nominee 2018. She's a member of International Writers and Artists Association, winner of Women Excellence Inspiration Award from SG Magazine in 2020. She's winner of Grand Jury Award, that is Sahito International Award for Literature in 21. Wow. One of the Women Excellence Selection Committee in 23, winner of Women of Arts Award in 23, member of Who is Who in America 23, Sahito Award Judging Panel 23, Cultural Ambassador for Iraq, USA, Faleeha Hassan. Welcome to the show. Wow. Very impressive achievement. Okay. Tell us about the event.
Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Actually, it's my pleasure to be with you tonight. My name is Faleeha Hassan. I'm a poet, teacher, editor, playwright. I spent 24 years teaching Arabic language in my country. Mm-hmm. And also I have master's degree in Arabic language. And I published 25 books.
Oh, wow.
Between poetry and prose. And also, I have 2 common poetry books, but that's in, I hope so, it's soon. Yeah, this is, but the important thing of my work, I think when I was teaching Arabic language in my country, it was very beautiful and powerful experience for me, because I taught all these young girls, because I work with all my life with girls, and that's something I am proud of. To give power to another girl to live, that's my, I think this is my achievement of my life.
Appreciate so much, and I really honor you for that. Because I always feel as women, we're the center of the family. We have that kind of, is built in our DNA, a nurturing, caring nature. Emotionally, we connect with the whole family.
Yeah.
Little boys to grown-up men, family, brothers, husbands, all relations that we have in our lives. we connect everyone, right?
Yeah, I believe women, as it's born creative human being, because she made the family. You can't imagine family without women. You can't. There's
No,
nothing. No.
that's a nature given responsibility that we have to nurture and give life. And then
Yeah.
when life appears, then the other nurturing that takes place, and that role never finishes. Once you are a parent, you never stop being parent. It doesn't
Of
matter
course.
how old your children become, either they're
Of course.
adolescents,
Yeah.
teenagers, or adults. You still are a parent. So those are the roles, and I think women kind of cling on to more than male parent would do, right? And then I think that's where I personally have observed, and I find that it's very important for women to keep that nurturing, whatever
Yes.
forms it comes in. In your case, you have done that by teaching your poetry. You connect with other millions unknown. You have 13 languages. Your books are printed in 25 countries, in 13 different languages. So, how many people, limitless people, you may have touched through your words? So, I want to go into some things that you talk about is how did your project, The War and Me, start?
Actually, because I was a poet and also I lived long time with wars. I'm not talking about one war or two wars or also the blockade. That's why it make me feel I felt I need to write this memoir. I need to share this memoir with another people. I want to make them feel how you like you are a witness of something. It doesn't speak about it because in media they show Iraq in different way. They have a false news about the Iraq. What happened? I was a witness of that. That's why when I thought to write this memoir, I spoke with Mr. William Hashking. He's a professor and translator. I met him online. I never met him in person, but unfortunately, I met him online and I said, I have thought about writing my memoir, my
Mm.
war memoir. And he said, actually, I have a friend, her name Gabriella, and let's talk to her about that. And he talked to her, and then he introduced us to each other. After 1 week, I received an email from Gabriella. This lady, she was working as an editor in Amazon publication, and she said, "I like to see your work. Can you send me anything like introduction or the plan of the book?" I said, yes, I'm going to do that, but because I can write all these detailed English language, I'm going to send him to Mr. William in Arabic, and let's see what he's doing with. He actually did very good job by translate the 10 pages or almost 15 pages. I sent it to him, and he sent it to her. And after that, I received email from her. She said, "Can I call you?" I said, "Of course you can." I gave her my phone number and she did call me. She said, "Faleeha, maybe you don't believe that, but I dreamt about your book."
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, "Oh my God, that's true?" She said, "Yes."
Ah,
And she asked me about the title of the book. I said, "War and Me." And she said, "Yes, that's the book I was dreaming. Like I was dreamt about this book. I was reading your book. The book is called War and Me." And then when she did the proposal of my book to her company, she said this is the first time they accepted, like without no hesitation. And I said, "Oh, that's wonderful." They accept the book for publication. Then I signed agreement with them. After that, they gave me 1 year to write the book because I will write the chapter in Arabic language. I will send it to Professor William in English. Then he will send it to me to read it and make some change. Then I will send it back to him. Then he will send it. It's like back and forth. But
mhm.
we did good job. We did good job, you know. I mean, he did good job with the translation. And the good thing with the Professor William, he knows the Iraqi dialogue. You know, the Arabic people, Arabic countries, all like each country has his dialect.
Yes.
And he was like, let's see, almost fluent in Iraqi diet. But sometimes, if like, let's see, if we have cookies in Iraq, we call a kleje. It's made from dough and dates inside. And I said, we was having some in my book. We have some data, I mean, kleje and tea. He will ask me, that's the cookie we made here in America. I said, no, that's a different. I will send him a picture just to put, this image, in his mind. Then he will change the word. And then after that, when they try to make an audio book, they send me 1,000 of words in Iraqi dialogue just to say the words. They're like abaya, kleje, chocolate. This is something I said that in my Arabic language to this lady because she wanted to make this book as an Orient book. I mean, it was very interesting and very good experience for me.
I think it would have been a wonderful experience for people who were involved, because I say I am a global citizen. I had
Yeah,
worked with people from every continent. Like you said, every Arabic country have a different dialect,
of course.
wise. And then for local traditions, whatever, like the cookie you
Yes,
claim,
yes, yes,
station of it, it
yes,
makes it very unique. Not
yeah,
only not only in a cultural experience, but also what you connect
of
with
course.
it, right? So a lot of children have stories, the memories, growing up with those things that they
Yeah,
associate. We all, as humans,
yeah,
like, we associate our upbringing and the environment we grew, the things were
of course. Yes,
bring love and binding together.
yes.
I am just kind of in awe all of that process that you went through. But my mind is going in different directions right now, so I'm going to stay in
Yeah, even the weather is different from here because in Iraq we have just two seasons. Like winter, it's like warm. It's not that cold. We don't have the coats outside. And summer, that's it. But the
yeah,
summer is so hot. It's like the sun is cooking. But
yeah,
here is, yeah, we have, 4 seasons. We never have 4 seasons in my country.
yes,
That's
and
something also.
that too relates to your experience that if you were to talk about snow, and if you're
Yeah,
there, you only see that in pictures, so you don't
of course. Yeah, yeah.
live experience of that. Yeah, so I want to come back to the story that you had shared. So, writing of the book. So that was the process of the writing of the book Arabic to English translation and an audio. So I want to move from the process to the content. So, which is very interesting itself. The topic, the title of your book, War and Me. And I am assuming that it's a lot of the personal experiences that you had at that time when you were writing, or you had collected that content that you had put that in the book. Anything that you would like to share with our listeners, because it's not something that people hear directly from people who have been through those experiences. Like you said, the news bites are sensational,
Of course.
right? They are just sound bites, but the experience of people who are going through those times, this is a long term journey. Would you like to share a little bit more?
In time of war, I was feeling even the wall can it's close in on me. I
Mm,
can't say nothing. I can because especially if you are a woman by yourself, like because all the men go into the battlefields
yes,
fighting, and
yes,
you are the like I was talking about myself. I am the oldest member in my family. My mom, she was very sick. My father was fighting. My brothers, like my older brother, he was in battlefields too. That I am by myself and all girls around me.
yes,
I mean, my sisters, and this is making me feel sometimes strong, but the most time I was very weak. But I can explain my weakness. I was just hold that inside me, just to make myself look, I am strong, I am here. If you need me, I am here. Especially when my mom, she was having a very serious sickness with heart disease, and that's make her feel like every day she hears something on TV, she will fear almost die. Yeah, because she like, and I, when I say I was take care in her, not just like physical, but also with emotion.
Yes.
And I felt, actually, I felt I was a soldier when this war came to our school. They forced us to do some duty like we are a soldier. We need to talk about some news. We need to discuss the speech we heard every day from the TV. We need to know, we need to prepare ourselves if there is street war coming. That's make us going, and that's even like, it make me feel there is no escape, because before that I loved the school, and I was like, my reading was my escape, just to go to there and read, because I know that my father, he's not here. Not just me, like there's all those girls around me. Their father is not present in the moment. There's no man in the house. If there is a man, that's meaning he's disabled, or he is a very old man, he can't fight. When we go to school, I was feeling, yes, I still have some light, some feeling about life. But then they change even the subject of books. They subject the history books. They change it to be wars, fighting, war, battles. That's making me feel there's no escape. And I remember when they said the war between Iraq and Iran over, I never believed that. Me and my sister, while we was sitting, I imagine this also right now. We was standing in the window, and we both crying. I don't know what we crying for. Crying because we are hoping something good coming, or maybe crying because we feel very sad about what happened. It was a very emotional moment, and but after that we never felt safe, because there is another war follow, also the black like injustice blockade. It's last for 12 years. Imagine yourself, you've been in war for 8 years, and it's done. You said, oh my God, it's done. Now I can breathe. But then there is coming something worse than war. It is 12 years of injustice blockade. That's meaning you're still fighting. This time they change the title. Not you fighting not in the battlefields, but you're fighting to survive the hunger, to survive the disease, the starvation. And it's tough, there is no peaceful moment in my life.
Is very trying to find the right word to say it is very difficult to find one word.
Of course.
It's really an emotional experience. And I want to recreate the scenario that you had just shared with us, that men, your brothers, husbands, fathers, uncles, all able men are out there in the battlefield, and then women left. And you're left to not only stay strong, but keep everybody strong.
Yes.
And where do
Especially my mom.
yes. And that is the story of a lot of women around you there.
Yeah.
Right. So where would you find strength to give other people strength? And that was your literature.
Yes, with writing.
With writing.
Writing, yes. Writing was my escape land, because during the war I was reading a lot. I did read so many books, because there is no way to be survive without like reading. But then after that I started writing, and I became the first woman in my city writing and published her poetry book. I did publish that in 1991.
Okay. So I can see that it was the wartime, active war. where you started putting together your poetry books, and the memoir came later. So, where did you begin the process of writing memoir? When you moved to Turkey or United States or
No, when I came here to America,
United States?
yes,
Okay.
I started to process in the War and Me memoir. But before that, I did publish, as I told you, 25 books.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, and a lot of these books, your poetry is published in 13 different languages. And then how did, just tell us a little bit more. I'm curious. How did, from English, Arabic to English, and so many other languages, what inspired? Was it the people were reaching out to you to have these translated, or you got inspired to let people know all over who can connect with you and translate into different languages?
When I write my work in Arabic language, I will send it to someone. Before, I'm talking about, that's before 2016. When I was writing my work in Arabic language, I will send it to someone. He will translate it to English language. Then I will publish it in different magazine, websites, newspaper sometimes. And after that, people, when they read the work I did publish, they will reach me by email and they said, can we have your permission to translate your work to my language? And I will say, yes, of course, I will do, I give you my permission to do that. And that's why right now, I think it's like almost 30 languages translate my work, translate to. And I am so happy for, that. When you share your experience with other people in different languages, that's meaning they appreciate
Yes.
your work. And also, it's like you share it with them and you share your sadness, your happiness, your joyful, all these emotions, you share it with other people. And that's what we like to do as a writer.
As a writer, I fully get it as a poet, as a writer, and you are sharing your life story. And many people out there will resonate with some sort of those experiences. May not be a physical battle on a war scene, but there's internal battle because we're overcoming something within us, right? So you take so many roles, being a therapist, being a strong person in the family, being a provider, being a teacher, being a mentor. So that's a kind of so many roles. And that's where I say that women do it so well. We are designed to carry on that kind of weight on our shoulders and to be that pillar of strength, to give strength and uplift people around us. So I admire you and I wish you a lot of success, all of that you with your upcoming books. But I have some more questions. I want to ask why your book was not published in Arabic.
I believe because I am Arab, I know how the Arab people thinking. I don't think Arabic reader will enjoy to read his life or his memoir because he was dealing with the war, and some of Arab country they still dealing with the war until now. And no one can like to read about these daily things. And the Arabic reader, he liked to read poetry, he liked to read novel, like to read plays, philosophy. That's something he likes. And if there is a kind of memoir the Arabic reader will like, he will read a memoir about someone he can make him escape his reality. And I'm talking about the Hollywood actor, the athletes, or maybe musician. Those kind of people, the Arab reader will read the memoir. He will feel like he's in different worlds.
Yes.
He's like he's escaped from his reality. But to read my memoir, that I don't think is like that's a good idea because no one needs to remind him with his life detail.
Thank you for being so open to and generous to explain that. because now I can see people who have been through war and growing up in war and young adults, they want some escape from that.
Yeah.
They want some inspiration. And poetry can provide inspiration, but then the experiences of war, of course, there would be a different choice to be made. So
Yeah.
I do appreciate so much. And out of curiosity, I would like to know is that now, as your type of memoir, do you require some special, some particular type of language or a style that you want to connect with people?
I think the memoirists or the people they write a memoir, they don't need a special or unusual language to
Mm.
do that. But they need, because sometimes they need sometimes you write your paragraph in simple way. Sometimes you need academic language to do that. And I hope when you read my book, you will see that some paragraph is very academic, some paragraph is very simple, some paragraph it has a dialogue, a daily dialogue.
Mhm.
But that's because the memoir writer, he's, and I think that all writer, not just a memoir, he's an artist, but he's writing or drawing the event with words. That means he needs skills more than language, special language. If he has a good skill for writing, I guarantee his memoir will be, is bestseller. But to have a like specific language to writing for a memoir language, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. This is very helpful to express an author's mind because every author is putting it out there, his and her intellectual expression, the way
Yes.
they have learned life or their expertise that they are sharing with the audience out there. This is wonderful conversation, and I can think of a lot of questions, but I leave it up to you. Is there any particular experience or example that you would like to share with young people, men and women?
You want me to read it from my book or
You
just
can.
no?
Oh, welcome to read a excerpt from your book if you would like. I want to see that what young people should take away because reason I'm asking this question is young people are more inclined to look at social media for news bites or what sensational news all over the place, sound bites. Our generation, I know my father, there was 8 or 9 newspapers were delivered daily. Were glued to newspapers in the
Of
living
course,
family room, so the newspaper was everywhere.
of
So
course,
that time has gone. So
yeah, of course.
when this stories are printed, they're printed the night before. Now we have instant. Within seconds, there is a news bite. So that era has changed, and the young people who get the news into short sound bites or 140 characters, what advice we should give it to younger people that there is a more of a story than the sound bite?
I see young people, they just, they don't read right now. Some of them, they don't read at all. They listen, but sometimes they listen for something. It doesn't give them any inspiration or any good energy. They do something, just listen for something. It's not good for them health. But
It's not.
sometimes,
It's not
yeah,
in. It's
yeah,
very surface.
and some of them I was like every time I go to the store to buy a book,
Mhm.
if I see young girls or young men try to buy something, they will buy something fantasy like empire or something like for a horror story. And this is also because I don't think, because they don't like the life they live. They looking for something has adventure,
Mm.
and sometimes they find the adventure in the imagination more than real life. My advice to those people: go places, visit people, see the other world, and then read about this world. If you can't, if you don't have ability or time or money to go and visit country. At least read about these countries. Don't be in your moment. That's it. Don't go places by reading the other people books. Read history, read memory, read poetry. Don't gel yourself with one subject, because right now I was in book fair, and I don't envy any people, but this guy, he's a writer for horror stories, and I saw all these young kids. They came to him, they took picture, they bought all his books, and that's because they all. And I was listening to this girl. She said she's almost like 30, and she said, "Oh, she told him that. She said, I bought your books and I am reading my books to my kids too, and we all screaming." It's like, that's unhealthy experience. You need to raise your kids with something, give them power, share another experience, not make them escape to
Fiction.
fantasy,
Yeah. Fiction.
Yeah. Yes.
Fantasy.
Yeah. Something like, and I hope like for example, even the movies right now, if you watch the movies, that the majority of movies, it's not about something real. It's all like the end of life, the fire. It doesn't give you hope in life.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes. I find that somewhere, being an author myself, and
Yeah.
I find that somewhere, I can't speak and say for others, but for myself, I see that if you take up that role to put out your intellectual side out there, and you have a responsibility to change, bring about a change. And it's okay to write about fiction and fantasy, and it's
Of
fine,
course.
but
Of
that
course.
should not be the entire focus, right?
Now, for me, I never allowed my kids to read something like that. If there is a fantasy, let's say it's talking about hope, about life, about love, but not about the end of life, about buckle or something. It's because I need them to grow up healthy, healthy mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's very crucial because our younger children are growing up in a very stressful environment where they
Yes.
are connected to devices, then they're connected to
Yes.
human beings. So,
Yes.
whatever time they had with the human beings, to me, I find that as mothers, as nurturers, caregivers, we have a lot more responsibility to bring them about to the
Of course.
realities of life. And it's
Yes.
okay to have a taste of that fantasy or
Yes.
fiction or adventure,
Yes.
but still stay connected with your roots, be grounded and be realistic. Real life is not a fantasy world. So that's why.
Yes.
And if people don't like my saying that, I am not apologetic for it. I just have my opinion to share.
Yeah, me too. That's my opinion. I'm not forced anyone to do anything, but this is my opinion. And
It,
I hope if those young people also they connect to the old generation, like the grandfather, the grandmother,
yeah,
ask them, live
yeah.
with them, ask them about the life they live. Because if you have a grandma or grandfather, that's meaning you are blessing. You have someone in your he's ready to give you everything.
Yes, and I really thank you for saying that because that's my goal as I write in my women leadership book is that every generation has a role to play. The younger generation need us and we need them because they are our future and we need to prepare them for that future. And for a younger generation, if you have grandparents, maybe not your own biological, but someone of
Yes, of
grandparent
course.
role that you can go to as a mentor, please avail those opportunities because they are carrying a wealth of experiences and knowledge, and they are equally as willing to share that with you. So that is a partnership. So we as human species, as a society, we're built by our nature to connect. And it's
Of course.
unfortunately, I say that we are in an age of the devices. So
Yes.
here to stay, but creating a balance. where you have to go out in the nature, go, like you said, go visit,
Yes.
go
Yes.
places, go visit people. The stories that you will hear, you will have lifelong learning lessons from those that you will have from a soundbite that lives few seconds on the internet. So
Of course. Yeah. It's
that
changed every minute.
yes, yes, very short life. So these are really lovely topics, and I want to give you one more opportunity to share anything with our audiences, either from your personal life experiences or as a writer, or what you would like to share your thoughts with the audience.
I like to say in War and Me, I believe those who like all audience, they will find what they like in this book. I believe those who live the adventure will find the characters who went to the battlefields
Mm.
looking for their brothers and their fathers. Those who are curious to learn about the Iraqi family during the wartime, they will see how the Iraqi family suffered from starvation, from disease, and how they are facing death every day for all these years. And those who are enjoy learning about other culture will discover the rich custom and tradition of the Iraqi society and how the society dealing with living and death. But the most important things of this book, they will see the war, how the war is affects innocent people, whether they are soldier, women, or just kids.
Is there a sentence you would like to read out of your book? I think this is
Okay.
really powerful. And in your words, that who have experience, not just the witness from far,
Yes.
you have
Mhm.
experiences, and then you have put together those emotional experiences into the book.
Yes. I'm going to share this short paragraph when I was looking for my brother in battlefields.
Okay.
And I was witness some mighty event there. An artillery shell flew high overhead and landed on that track, turned the soldier into the body bars, dispersed in every direction. I did not know how I climbed back into the car or how the car is shut off with us to turn. The only things that stick in my memory as a human remains fly through the air while the two ladies pounded their heads and wheeled. The man removed his handband and sank into silence as our car put a lot of distance between it and the scene of the disaster we had witnessed. All the same, I turned to look back and found the truck had become a terrifying ball of flame.
I can hardly even imagine
It
being there. I mean, I right now I have to say something, but I feel speechless. It's a very intense emotion to even imagine the scene, and I could only see the courage that you had to venture out to the battlefield to look for your brother. Um, and those are the things that we never hear from media, the casualties or sensational news. I admire you so much and sharing your life story, sharing your inspiration with so many people around the world and all these so many languages that they have been translated to. And I hope that your kin men and women also find strength in your words. And I wish you a lot of success for your upcoming books.
Thank
And
you so much.
then
And
maybe
also, I wish you all the success with your journey and with your books. I download the chapter of your book. I'm reading it right now.
thank you.
It's so powerful. And actually, I hope one time, if you give me your permission, I can maybe translate this part, this small part, and share it with my people in Iraq. That's be wonderful, because I
Absolutely.
like it. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
like it so much.
I thank you so much. I'll be honored to. So this book, as you have brought it up, so wasn't my intention, but let me just see in front of the camera and flash it. So it's a testament for women's strength as a women of
Yes,
generation, and I say that the leadership doesn't live in roles and titles.
of
We
course.
The role that you took is a leadership role when we are
Mhm.
into the situation and we rise up to the occasion.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that you have a Ivy League degree or PhD. It doesn't require that. It requires
No,
strength, charisma, power, and the strength, perseverance. It requires all of that. So I am urging women of all generation come together,
of course.
collaborate with men, because now in the third decade of 21st century, we are at a corner, at the doorsteps of fourth industrial revolution, digital economy, circular economy, global economy. So many things are important. We need to educate ourselves so we can
Of course.
prepare our next generation, because
Yeah.
they're growing up with devices. And I find that it is our responsibility to teach them, prepare them to be our leaders of tomorrow. And women can do that much better because we had that type of nurturing, caring nature, and
Yes.
we embrace everything. The universe is calling us, so we go all over the place. So we can do that role. And that's my call to action and a dialogue out of this book.
Of course. Yeah, I like it so much. And I was like waiting for you just to meet you to take this permission to work with this book because it is very powerful speech of this book. And it's like, I hope you will have so many people can translate it to so many different language and share it with the other people in different languages.
I thank you. I thank you for your kind words, and I hope so too, because I feel that when authors write a book, whatever
Yes,
genre or topic or subject matter expertise they have, when they're sharing their thoughts, they're not writing for themselves. They're writing to impact the world.
of course, yeah,
So more
yeah,
people they reach, the better it is for humanity to take the valuable knowledge that one person is sharing.
of
So,
course.
and I urge your listeners and your audiences to take advantage of your heartfelt words. And until next time, good luck and thank you for being part of Women of Power episode today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate that. And I hope we can meet in person next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope that information our guest has shared is helpful and you are taking away valuable tips and knowledge. We are committed to supporting women and building cause driven businesses that create positive impact in their communities. Join us in the movement for change. Take action now and be part of Let's Come Together movement. Together, we can recognize, celebrate, and empower women who are making a difference in today's economy. Connect with passionate and powerful women, collaborate on cause-driven businesses, and build a better future for our communities. Let's advance sustainable goals for the people, planet, and prosperity. Join the Let's Come Together movement, a private community today, and be catalyst for change in creating and raising conscious leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.